So Jujutsu Kaisen has now been officially over for a few days, and here are all of my incredibly negative thoughts about the ending. Why on earth would this page exist? Like, I'm serious. Why would you do this, Gege? Why would you show Kinjaku or Geto or whoever this is hide their face intentionally and then never do anything with it? Why would you do that in the last chapter, the second to last chapter? It's so infuriating that you just, oh my god. Obviously, Gojo died. That was one of the biggest things that ever happened to JJK. I don't have an issue with the fact that he died. I have a massive issue with the fact that it was barely even acknowledged by the other characters. No funeral, no acknowledgement of his death. He just died, and then they were like, oh well, gonna miss him. And then they moved on. That is ridiculous. The same thing happened with Nanami, who is also a very important character to the other characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, so you would expect at least a little bit of a serious moment after he died. And then the exact same thing happened with Choso. So clearly, Gege just cannot write deep, sad emotions. He just sucks at it, apparently. So when a character like Gojo, who means so much to so many characters, dies, it should be a big deal for those characters. They shouldn't just move on. That's so bad. Another example is Yaga, except in Yaga's case, it almost feels like he died for nothing. Because, yes, he passed on the secrets to making cursed corpses, but that never got brought up again, and it was just ultimately a stupid death. Like, he could have been alive and contributed a little bit to the Sukuna fight, and it wouldn't have been that different of an ending, but no, Gege just wanted to unalive him for no reason. Toji as a character was underdeveloped and underutilized, and we ultimately should have gotten way more of him. Geto was wasted potential. There's not a whole lot else to say there, but we needed more of his character. We should have gotten it. He's actually one of the best written characters in the show, and he got completely done dirty because he got very little screen time. Moving on, we never got any solid High and Arrow lore. Now, this isn't necessarily an issue to the story, like, it didn't cause problems that we didn't get that, but it's something that was just an incredible amount of wasted potential. It was an era of Jujutsu that was so heavily referenced and acknowledged, but never actually shown or really explained, and that's just a waste. Sukuna's ending felt completely odd. It just did not feel necessary. The character who has embodied pure evil for the entire series and has just been the abomination of what sorcerers can be just gets a good ending. It just gets written off as, oh, he was abused as a child, so that's why he's pure evil, so let's justify his means a little bit. Also, it's incredibly unnecessarily confusing that these two random people are here, and there's a lot of confusion as to who they are. I mean, we're pretty sure that this is Arame, but this is definitely not Yorozu, so who could this be? Why would these mysterious characters be brought up now? There's just no reason for that confusion for the final chapter. This is a bit of a weird gripe and probably one that not a lot of people are going to have, but I don't like that there was such a happy ending. Again, going back to how major characters died and no one really acknowledged it, but Megumi Nobara and Yuji are all totally fine with the rest of their life, and they're just like, oh well, we're all together, so that's great, yay! One of the main, if not the main theme of Jujutsu Kaisen has been death and how people handle death. Because the very beginning is Yuji's grandpa dying, and then that literally affects how he lives the rest of his life. So why is it now, at the ending, no character has changed at all after the deaths of major characters? This is not a slight to Nobara's character, but she should not have come back. I have said this so many times, but her return to the story is an absolute freaking terrible idea. I'm so mad that that happened. Her coming back made that entire death scene of her flashing back on the rest of her life completely unnecessary. That was not needed if she's just not going to die. And then, again, it just doesn't make sense. The fact that she was just gone for like she was gone for so long from the story and from the timeline of Jujutsu Kaisen, like in their time in the story, that her just coming back completely unannounced, completely unnecessarily is ridiculous. We could have defeated Sukuna without her. Why did she come back? That was so dumb. It's too much of a Disney Kaisen moment. It's really embarrassing, honestly. The Hakari versus Arame fight is one of the weirdest aspects of the ending because it feels like something happened, like outside of the story as to why we didn't get that fight. There is absolutely no reason to get no coverage of this fight. There could have been like cuts between the Sukuna fight and then the Hakari Arame fight, but no. Gege just wanted to make this fight completely gone. So yeah, the ending of Jujutsu Kaisen was not good. It could have been better if it had happened 300 chapters afterwards, because the story was just so short for no reason. We needed so much more of these characters to make this story truly sound and good. If this had gone on for just a few hundred more chapters, it could have been one of the greatest shonen anime of all time. But instead, Gege didn't like his own story, I guess. I genuinely am so baffled as to why there are so many issues and plot holes with this story, and now it's just over. So many things were left open-ended that should not have been. I'm truly disappointed.